I think it's recording. Let's hope. Good evening, Jessica and everyone else. Welcome to our February East Coast new member orientation. My name is Jason Bohr, and I work here at CSTA with chapters and chapter leaders. Ruth and Yolanda and Henry, if you'd like to introduce yourself, now's a great time. If not, that's fine too.
Hi, Jessica. My name is Yolanda, and I am the South Regional Coordinator, member of the Georgia chapter in the Virgin Islands. But yeah, that's me.
Hi, I'm Ruth Famry. I'm the Northeast Regional Support Coordinator, and I'm a member of CSTA Greater Boston.
Well, he did mention my name, so I guess I'll talk, even though I'm not part of this presentation. I'm Henry Ramirez. I am the regional coordinator for the Central Region, as it says here on my thing. I'll be doing the 7 o'clock session, but I'm just here to support Ruth and Yolanda.
You know what? So small, such a small group. Lawrence, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Lawrence Tanimoto. I'm from the Puget Sound chapter, mostly from I guess from state of Washington. I'm the treasurer there, and I'm coming to this just so I can figure out how I can best introduce our new members to all the benefits that CSTA provides them, and our chapter provides them as well.
Great plan, I must say. Jessica, would you like to introduce yourself? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but.
No, that's fine. I'm from Tennessee, and I just started the computer science curriculum because Tennessee is going to introduce that in the high school in 2024. So, and I just came across CSTA the other day. So I joined the Tennessee chapter and Tennessee Valley, North Georgia chapter, I think.
Yeah, that's with the chapter there, Tennessee Valley, North Georgia, and we have a Tennessee chapter, both kind of getting back into things, getting things going. So you'll see some communications from them from time to time. I'm glad you already joined the chapters. That was one of the big takeaways from tonight. So you're already ahead of the game. It sounds like you're ahead of the game, getting ready for Tennessee to, adopt high school CS. So tonight's agenda, well, we'll do a brief introduction to CSTA overall, talk about navigating your member portal, which is where you can update things like your grades taught and courses taught and whatnot. We'll get you connected to your local chapter if you're not already, but I think everyone here is, which is amazing. Talk a little bit about member benefits, our virtual communities, which are, Jessica's a great place to ask questions and have some like back and forth with other CSTA members. We'll talk about ways you can contribute beyond your classroom with CSTA, different volunteer positions we have, and different ways we move the organization forward. And then we'll provide some time for takeaways and next steps. It's scheduled for an hour, but it usually doesn't take that long. I'll tell you that up front. We'll probably get some time back at the end of this meeting. Our goals for today is to have you log in to your member portal and update your preferences, find and join your chapter, identify some benefits that you'd like to access and use, join the virtual community, explore some upcoming CSTA events like our Equity in Action Summit that's happening this Saturday, and get all your questions answered. Like I said, Jessica, you're in luck because there are a lot of people here that can answer questions for you. Tonight's guide, I did post it in the chat already, and I think everybody was here when I did so. But just in case, I'll repost it here in case somebody joined after that. Go ahead and take a look at that. If you wanted to print it out and write on it, you can. If you want to just use it as kind of a template for organizing your thoughts tonight, you can do that as well. You'll see in the guide has some of the information we're going to discuss next, but it's a place like, a place to jot down, like if you see something here, make a note of it so you can circle back to it, when you have time. If you see opportunities you'd like to take advantage of, you can jot those down. And if you have questions left, write them down here, and then you can reach out to me on this call. And then, like I said, there's all the member resources, what they are, and links on how to get there. The links are active on the PDF, so you can just click away as we go. This will be an interesting exercise with the 6 of us. In the chat, type, why did you join CSTA originally? Those of you who've been a member for a while, think back. I know my answer already. And it's often the same for many of us. Only CS teacher in the district, meet a community of CS teachers, only CS teacher campus, update on computer science initiatives, found it on Meetup, even better. Seemed like the right thing to do. That's 100% correct, Lawrence. It's always the right thing to do, joining nonprofit educational organizations. So looks like many of us were looking for a community, and guess what? You found it. CSTA is a voice for teachers, driven by teachers. Everyone here was a teacher or is still a teacher. CSTA is member focused. Really hard to put members' needs first. Where this new member orientation came from is that we realized as people joined CSTA, they were just kind of, here's a website, go figure it out. And so we instituted something like this to kind of help drive people through. We're committed to equity in our community for the students our members serve. And we hope that CSTA is a place where we grow. And like I said, you know, everybody has their own journey in CS and in education, but, you know, through programs like our summits and conferences and the chance to lead a chapter, you know, I think there's a lot of growth that goes on at CSTA. We have CSTA is led by a board of directors. Look, they're on our website. There's Dan Blyer, our board chair, Amy, Cindy, Aiden. You know, most of the people on here are chapter leaders, if I'm being honest. There's elections for board members annually, serve in different terms and cycles. In fact, you'll be seeing talk about board nominations and elections coming up here soon. Here is your CSTA staff, leading with Jake Baskin, our executive director, and rolling all the way through. This is a staff that's doubled in size in the last 3 years. Scroll down here to the bottom. You'll see our regional chapter support coordinators, 3 of whom are on this call. If you're ever curious about who's helping you and where they're from and what they like to do, this is on the About Us part of the website. And the last thing here, we'll talk a little bit more about this later, is that CSTA is, you know, we don't exist without volunteers, because there are a lot of things to do at CSTA, and being a nonprofit, we can't pay everyone all of the time. So we have several committees that you can volunteer to be a part of. This is a way to grow in leadership in particular. We have some community ambassadors. We also have volunteer reviewers for conference proposals, for awards, and for the equity fellows. So there is a volunteer application. Fill out, you say what you're interested in, and then somebody from the team will reach out to you. And we're always happy to have more people helping out. And, you know, it often leads to some other opportunities as well. My purpose for originally being involved with the new member orientation was to help people find their local chapter. And Jessica, if I'm not mistaken, you said you've already joined the chapters. You didn't just see them. If you've already joined them, we're in great shape here. Okay,
Yeah, I
perfect.
joined.
All right, perfect. It can be kind of a hassle. We know that you have to create your membership first, then go back and join the chapters. We're working on, you know, streamlining that process. You can join as you sign up. But, you know, if you already found your chapters, we're in great shape. The chapter's role here at CSTA is threefold. It's to build community first and foremost. Be that department for CS teachers who don't have a CS department on their campus. Many chapters, most chapters, provide professional development and support to their members. They have webinars like this that are chapter directed. In fact, that's why Lawrence is here, so that he can get an idea of how he can help serve his new CSTA Puget Sound members who maybe didn't have a chance to come tonight. And then the chapters, they establish operational foundations where they have their own set of finances, their own bylaws, their own leadership teams who are volunteers, like I said before, who help drive everything in the CSTA world. Chapters are the heart of CSTA, if I'm being honest. That's where the rubber meets the road, where you find your people and you can connect and grow together, as CS educators. That is my piece of the puzzle this evening. I'm not sure who I'm turning things over to, but I'm turning things over to
Me.
All right, you got it.
So Jessica, being that A+ student, you have already done these portions. I have to admit that it was maybe a year or so before I realized there was a Georgia chapter. And I think it was in a meeting like this where people were like, make sure you join your local chapter. So you are already ahead of the game. As I was preparing for this, I realized that I had not put my picture up, even though I don't look anything like that picture. So I need to fix that. But make sure that if you have a chance, add your picture and update your information, because there you can include your contact information and let people know how to get in touch with you. One of the things that we have learned with the Mississippi chapter, a lot of the emails were being bounced back. So if you have a personal email that you could include, I think that would be a really good, that would be a really big help. So Jason is there with that fine picture, looking all dapper. And so this is your, the dashboard, the homepage. This is what you get to first. And so it has all kinds of links and with upcoming events. It has the virtual community. If you'll scroll down, Jason, the calendar there in the middle tells you the upcoming events. And this is where you can check and make sure what chapter you're in. So see in the middle there, it says my chapter, and Jason started out in Sacramento, right? Started out in Sacramento. He's now in Alabama. And so you also go here to see CSTA plus benefits, which I think might be the next slide. And so let's go back to the slideshow. So yes, so the previous slide said if you wanted to become a CSTA plus member, Jason, let's go through the slides and then we'll go back to the website. So if you are a CSTA plus member, there's some benefits and we're going to talk about those benefits, but you have already done the most important part, Jessica, and that is become a part of the Southern region by picking your chapters. So you've already joined your chapters. Now, if you'd like to add more benefits to this, you can become, and that gave you CSTA basic memberships. And so with that, you get PD opportunities. You get to see the standards, and there's a lot of resources that are already embedded within that free membership. But for a low fee, which is often discounted, if you join, if you do conferences and do it as a package deal, you get some more benefits by joining CSTA Plus. And so it's the benefits vary depending on if you're a basic or a CSTA Plus member. And so next slide, Jason. We're going to look at a couple of those. There is actually 2 pages of benefits, and so on your, go back, you were right, you were on the right one. Oh, he's showing us how to join. So here's the benefits. And when you are there, it shows you one of the best things of this. And I learned that as we were in this past meeting, when you're in these great sessions, you want to jump from meeting to meeting. You're like, oh, I'm going to miss all of it. No worries. With your CSTA Plus membership, you actually have access to the recordings, and they stay up for a good long time. As you can see here, we have last year's CSTA, the conference sessions, we have the equity in action from last year, and the new one is coming up this year. There are different curriculum pieces that you can have access to. For example, there's Code HS. I know that a lot of people are using Code HS. Well, you can earn some mini credential badges in there. and just it will just show your knowledge in a multitude of languages or other skills. Keep scrolling down, Jason. There's also some, so you see this page is divided into different categories. There's classroom resources, there's professional development, certifications, events, video resources. And so if you click those, it will give you the different options for all of those. There's even a book. I know there's at least one book on Microvit that you get a discount to, found on this website. So Jason did classroom resources. And one of the ones that I learned about in the last conference was Pluralsight. Is that one on this, or is it in the regular? Yes. There's all kinds of things, like you can get a discount to Marty the Robot. Usually we talk about the fidgets education resource, but Jason, I just put it in our Slack channel. That free resource is closed. The application is closed. So we need to fix that. I fixed it in the slideshow. But one of the things I saw in our last summit was the Pluralsight one. Now, as soon as I saw that session, I emailed the young lady that gave it to that presented the session, and it gives you access to different courses. It gives you 33 to start with, but then it also gives you a discounted price of $99 for what is usually almost $600 if you're a CSTA member. And what was really neat about what she showed there was how if you had an hour of time to do something, you could say, show me an hour's worth of lessons on Python. And then it tracks you. And when you come back to it, it says you have 20 minutes left in this 45-minute session. I really like that because I know as a busy adult, sometimes we can get into something and then it's like, oh, I don't have time to complete this. But I love the way when she showed this, how it helped you manage your time. And so for me, right there, you get your membership dollars back just from this, because even the free lessons are really, really great. But for $99 to have access to a $599 program is wonderful. And she also told us that students get access to this through code.org. So again, just one of the many benefits of being in CSTA is learning about resources that you might not have known about. All right, let's go back to the slideshow, Jason, to make sure I covered the majority of it, or if there's something I left out, feel free to pop in. Oh, so yes, here's a comparison chart showing you what you get, and it's on slide 17 and 18. So you can click that, Jason. So it tells you what you get with the CSTA basic membership, along with the versus the plus membership. And as you see, there are a lot of goodies that are provided. Now, but I will tell you that, starting out as a CSTA basic member is a great way to get your feet wet, but we're loading this up with all kinds of resources that I really think will be super valuable to you as an educator, especially when you find yourself, as many of us were, as the lone CS teacher in a place. And with that, I am turning it over to Ruth.
Hello. So one of the benefits you get as both CSTA Basic and CSTA Plus is our virtual community, which is an online forum where you can talk to all the other CSTA members. Jason, I don't know if you want to navigate to the virtual community. You can access the virtual community from your dashboard, or you can access it from the link that Jason is clicking on. And one of the things when if you update your profile is that you will be joined to the different grade band groups based on what you've selected. There's different communities for different classes. There's different communities for each of the local chapters, and there's a big public community with everybody in it, and that gets quite a lot of traffic. And so if you have like questions as you're kind of approaching teaching, thinking about different curriculum and that kind of thing, then the public community is somewhere where you can go and you can ask questions and a bunch of people will reply to you. I think I've said everything about virtual communities. And yeah, one of the things that you can do with the virtual community is, decide when you're getting your emails and how many of them you want a day and that kind of thing. And it's under the notifications when you look at your profile in the virtual community. So in terms of other ways to engage, if you are thinking about CSTA Plus membership, today is the last day to get the early bird registration for the summer conference, which this year is virtual. And it's, if you want to attend the conference, it is a significant discount on the cost of the conference by having CSTA Plus membership. And the conference is a great experience, which I'm entirely unbiased about because I'm actually on the conference committee. But you can see the how much discount you get in terms of the conference fees. It's going to cover the CSTA Plus membership. This year it's virtual. The conference is alternating between virtual and in person. We also have the equity one-day summit coming up this weekend, where your cost of CSTA Plus membership is also covered by registering for that conference. So yeah, the Equity in Action Summit, and it's not too late to register for that. That is virtual as well, and it's hosted by our amazing equity fellows, which is another way to get involved with CSTA. And that application comes up later in the year. But the equity fellows will be talking about all things equity. The other thing, there is a searchable events page, which I'm sure Jason is going to go and load up, where you can see all the CSTA events, because although you're in Tennessee, there's nothing to stop you attending a virtual meeting at any chapter, and all of them that are all of the chapters that have listed their events on the website will be listed here, and you can see what's going on in different places, and you're welcome to attend any virtual events. So you can see CSTA Oklahoma are having their meeting soon, and all of those are open to everybody. If you're looking specifically for Tennessee events, it's probably easier to go to the Tennessee page to look for those, or to search from the drop-down box.
And the events that show up here are only those that we actually create tickets for, right? Or something, is that correct? That go to the CSTA system and they say, hey, do you want to attend this? Those are the only ones that show up.
The event, if you use the events module,
Yeah,
then they show up on the
okay.
the events page. If you use the calendar, they don't.
Okay.
But if you, I mean, technically they would show up even if you didn't have it. But
Okay.
everything Puget Sound puts up shows up on that
What
feed.
shows it up? Okay.
Yeah. Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so another way to get involved, if you are a CSTA Plus member, is to have a CS Honors Society, which is open to high schools. I'm a CS Honors advisor for my school, and it's based on the National Honor Society model of service and leadership, and so it's giving those students who are particularly interested in pursuing computer science after high school an additional thing for their resume and for a way for them to connect with their community. And you can get grant funding through the CS Honor Society program. So our chapter got a $900 grant through this, and we'll be spending it on stuff for our Honor Society chapter, and we have adventures around Cambridge and visit local tech companies and that kind of thing. I've got some very excited children who are off to study computer science in college next year. And there is an advisory board that provides resources for your CS Honors chapter. So yeah, like this is recapping a lot of what we've said already. We're always looking for more chapter leaders. We're always looking, like within our chapters, for people to be involved in meetings and to help out in those ways. We're always looking for people to volunteer for various things. I really enjoyed being on the conference committee. And I think Yolanda, you're on the chapter leaders committee. And Henry's part of the advocacy team. So
It's Lawrence.
oh, and Lawrence is part of the
Yeah,
advocacy.
also.
So we're all super
I'm also
involved here.
on the average.
Yeah. So yeah, once you're with us, you're kind of with us, and we all join in and do all the things. The awards are a nice way to get involved as well. You can apply yourself, obviously, or you can nominate somebody else, and you can also serve as a reviewer. Although I think they're all closed for this year, but it's something to look out for next year.
Yeah, it is closed for this year, but as we approach the conference in July, we'll start talking about all of next year's things. So don't worry, Jessica, we have committees for you to join.
Yeah, so yeah, there's plenty of different committees, and there are a bunch of us here that are on these committees. I don't think we've managed to be on all of them between us, but yeah, there's a committee for everything we do. CSTA is very committed to the by teachers for teachers, and so all the people serving on these committees are involved in education in some way. So yeah, so thank you for joining us this evening, and probably your next step is to think about attending an event, or signing up for the conference, and exploring all the resources that we've kind of shown you this evening. Do you have any questions?
Go ahead and stop the recording here. I want to ask questions.